Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shraddha Raravikar, Assistant Professor of Psychology, and I welcome you all on the behalf of my institution MVP Samaj S.V.K.T College Devlali Camp Nasik. Today's video session is meant to create awareness on cyber victimization.
Let us have a look on the issues we are going to discuss in today's video session. First, we will discuss the online settings that expose us to cyber victimization. Then we will see the categories of online risk. Then we will turn to the actual topic of today's video session, that is Introduction to Cyber Victimization. In that we will see what is cyber victimization and what are the forms of cyber victimization. Just like the real victimization in physical actual world, people suffering from cyber victimization also shows negative impact on their mental health. So we are going to discuss the psychological impact of cyber victimization. After that, we will discuss the do's and don'ts when you or someone else from your social net circle faces cyber victimization. Then most importantly, we will discuss what we can do if we are being harassed online and how we can stop someone from harassing ourselves. Then importantly, we will discuss the laws in India and some suggestions on how to keep yourself safe from cyber victimization. Nowadays, internet has become a very core part of our living, and so is the online communication system. We all use email accounts, we use social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter, we use messaging apps like WhatsApp and many other apps. Some people post on blogging platforms, and they also have personal blogging pages and also news platforms. All these things expose us to online harassment. These online platforms expose us to three categories of risk, that is content risk, contact risk and conduct risk. First, let us see what is content risk. It involves the user being recipient of age inappropriate content, especially children or younger children are the target of such kind of risk. Then another is contact risk, where the user is the recipient of an initiated online communication from other individual who intends to bully or manipulate the targeted user. And the conduct risk consider the digital footprints and the online behavior of the user as a part of large network of interaction. These risks and threats result in cyber victimization in virtual community. Cyber victimization. The term cyber victimization is broadly used to define cyber attacks, including cyber aggression, cyberbullying, and cyber threats. And sometimes the term online harassment is used to define online attacks. It is the harassment by means of emails, text, of course, online text, messages, or the internet. It can take many forms like unwanted sexually explicit emails, text or messages, then inappropriate or offensive advances on social networking websites or internet chat rooms, or threats of physical and sexual violence by email, text and messages, online messages. Then the hate speech, insulting and threatening language based on the identity of a person. And many people or many attackers think that cyber victimization is of no harm. But though the aggression or attack doesn't happen online, it doesn't mean that it does not harm the victim. It creates lots of harm to the person who is get victimized, and so it is no way accepted. Many forms of cyber victimization has come up, like cyberbullying, cyber mob attacks, cyberstalking, doxing, hacking, hateful speech and online threats, message bombing, online impersonation, online sexual harassment, and trolling. We will see them one by one. Cyberbullying. It is bullying with the use of digital technologies. It can take place on social media or messaging platforms, gaming platforms, and mobile phones. It is repeated behavior aimed at scaring, angering, or shaming those who are targeted. And the examples of cyberbullying include spreading lies about or posting embarrassing photos or videos of someone on social media, then sending hurtful, abusive, or threatening messages, images, or videos via messaging platforms, and impersonating someone and sending mean messages to others on their behalf or through fake accounts. Another form of cyber victimization is cyber mob attacks. Cybermob attack occurs when a large group gathers online to try to collectively shame, harass, threaten, or discredit a target. Outrage mobs or shaming mobs are a distinct kind of cyber mob made up of internet users who collectively troll individuals in the hopes of silencing or publicly punishing them. Targets of outrage mobs are often attacked for expressing opinions on politically charged topics or ideas the outrage mob disagrees with and has taken out of context in order to promote a particular agenda. Outrage mobbing can sometimes have severe consequences offline and has even resulted in targets losing their jobs. Cyberstalking. It is the prolonged use of online harassment intended to kill, injure, harass, intimidate, or place under surveillance a target. Cyberstalking can comprise a number of harassing behaviors committed repeatedly or with regularity that usually cause a target to suffer from fear, anxiety, humiliation, and extreme emotional distress. Doxing. It involves publishing someone's sensitive personal information online in an attempt to harass, intimidate, extort, stalk, or steal the identity of a target. And such sensitive information can include social security numbers, phone numbers, home addresses, personal photos, employment information, email addresses, and family members' personal information. Hacking. The act of hacking comprises digital devices and networks through unauthorized access to an account or computer system. Hacking is not always a malicious act, but it is most commonly associated with illegal activity and data theft by cyber criminals. Hacking refers to the misuse of devices like computers, smartphones, tablets, and networks to cause damage to or corrupt systems, gather information on users, steal data and documents, or disrupt data related activity. Devices most vulnerable to hacking are smart devices, webcams, routers, and emails. Hateful speech and online threats. Hateful speech is a form of expression attacking a specific aspect of person's identity, such as one's race, ethnicity, gender identity, religion, sexual orientation, or disability. It often takes the form of attacks which involve prejudicial feelings over intellectual argument in order to avoid discussion of the topic at hand by attacking a person's character or attributes. Threats issued online can be just as frightening as they are offline and are frequently meant to be physically or sexually intimidating. Message bombing. It is the intentional flooding of a person's or institution's phone or email accounts with messages meant to limit or block a user's access to a device, operating system, or platform. Because large numbers of messages sent in a short period of time can typically render a person's account unusable, this is an effective way for a harasser to prevent you from using your devices or accessing your online accounts. Message bombing typically occurs over texting apps, chat apps, or email accounts. Online impersonation. It is a strategy whereby harassers create hoax social media accounts, usually in order to post offensive or inflammatory statements in target's name. In most cases, the harasser's intention is to defame or discredit the targeted person, often by convincing others to believe the fake posts attributed to the target, which might then incite others to commit additional acts of harassment. Impersonation trolling can also happen when a harasser impersonates someone from target's close circle in order to offend or hurt the targeted person. Online sexual harassment. Online sexual harassment encompasses a wide range of sexual misconduct on digital platforms and includes some of the more specific forms of online harassment such as revenge porn. It often manifests as hateful speech or online threats. There are four distinct types of online sexual harassment, that is non-consensual sharing of intimate images or videos, exploitation, coercion and threats, sexualized bullying, and unwanted sexualization. Trolling. Trolling is the repetitive posting of hateful comments online by an individual whose intent is to seek attention, intentionally harm a target, cause trouble or controversy, or join up with a group of trolls who have already commenced a trolling campaign. There are three subcategories of trolling we should be aware of. First one is concern trolling, where harassers pose as fans or supporters of your work with the intention of making harmful or demeaning comments masked as constructive feedback. Dogpiling, where a group of trolls work together to overwhelm a target through a barrage of disingenuous questions, threats, slurs, insults, and other tactics meant to shame, silence, discredit, or drive a target offline. Botnet or soap puppet trolling, which are used for a variety of reasons from promoting propaganda to amplifying hate or defamation against targeted individuals. Let us turn to the psychological impact of cyber victimization. Victims of cyber harassment many a times shows depressive symptoms and they also can show suicidal ideation. They have lower self-esteem, suffer from anxiety and loneliness. Uh, Cyber victimization also have harmful physical effects such as weight loss or weight gain, substance abuse, headache, abdominal pain, and sleeping problems. And in addition to all these things, increased school or educational difficulties have also been reported, such as aggression, truancy, lower academic achievement, and not feeling safe in an educational institution. Now, let us have a look on do's and don'ts of cyber victimization. Whenever you feel that you are being victimized or someone you may know also facing the same problem, you can contact public safety or police services. You can also contact the administrator of the institution you are attached with. You can encourage the victim to seek help from counseling services. And taking a step further, you can also educate the harasser about the risk of inappropriate use of cyberspace because many a times, especially young people, are unaware that their online communication can violate the law or regulation of the institution. And you can also encourage the victim to take appropriate actions. Don'ts of the cyber victimization. You should never ignore the problem and you should not assume that there is nothing to be done. You can always take help from others and solve your issues. If you are being harassed online, you can also seek the help of police. But for helping police to help you, you should also take some steps. First thing, you should document everything. For that, you can take screenshots of the messages you are sent. Then you can keep yourself safe by either hiding your personal information or by logging out of the messaging app or any other online setting you are on which you are being harassed. And you can increase your personal cyber security by using various security measures. And Then we shall see how can we stop someone from harassing us. We can block the person, we can mute the person and report the activity to the cyber police, and we can also take the help of various helplines intended to help cyber victims. The laws in our country also help us to protect ourselves from cyber victimization, especially the Indian Penal Code 1980, Information Technology Act 2000, Indecent Representation of Women or Prohibition Act 1986, and the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013 are the safety networks that can be used to protect ourselves from cyber victimization. The Indian Penal Code 1980. Though the IPC does not deal with online harassment, it forbids sexual overtones, stalking, voyeurism, and outraging a woman's modesty. Additionally, it also criminalizes defamation and criminal intimidation. Section 298 of IPC criminalizes hate speeches aimed at damaging the religious sentiments of individuals. Section 344A proscribes the many forms of sexual harassment like forcefully showing pornography, making unwelcome physical contact and sexual advances, demanding or requesting sexual favors, and making sexually colored remarks are also punishable offenses. Section 354C makes voyeurism a punishable offense. It means the act of watching or capturing the image of a woman engaging in a private act without her permission or consent. Moreover, it is punishable to disseminate such images without the victim's permission, even if she consented to be captured. Section 354D punishes every form of stalking, including online stalking. An alleged offender must prove that his act was reasonable, justified, and persuaded under law for preventing or detecting a crime. Thus, stalking will not attract punishment only in such circumstances. Section 499 criminalizes defamation or the act of tarnishing the reputation of an individual through words, signs, or visible representations. Section 503, 506, and 507 proscribes or bans criminal intimidation. It includes the threat to cause grievous injury or worse still death. Incidentally, the threat to property or reputation is also covered under the aegis of criminal intimidation. Additionally, criminal intimidation can be with regards to the reputation of the deceased also. Section 509 criminalizes insulting the modesty of a woman through the act, gesture, or word and violating her privacy. So, the victim of cyber harassment can also take the help of these laws. Information Technology Act 2000, a specialized legislation to deal with electronic communications and technology. The Information Technology Act 2000, known as IT Act, contains various protective measures. Section 66C makes identity theft using fraudulent or dishonest means a punishable offense. Section 66E criminalizes the intentional capture, publication, or dissemination of the images of the private areas of any person without his or her consent. This section protects victims of all genders. Section 66F deals with acts of cyber terrorism, including DOS attacks and hacking of electronic devices. Section 67 makes publication or transmission of obscene material over electronic medium a punishable offense. It includes sharing pornographic clips or images, obscene messages, and screening photos and videos of illegal activities over the internet. Section 67A forbids transmission or publication of sexually explicit act or conduct over electronic media. Section 67B criminalizes the publication or transmission of material depicting children engaging in a sexually explicit act or conduct. Furthermore, this section proscribes or bans the download and search for such perverted material. Additionally, the Act condemns acts of facilitating online child abuse, recording child sexual abuse, or enticing or inducing children for sexual relationships. Indecent Representation of Women Act 1986. Section 4 of the Act bars the production, distribution, or circulation of any material containing indecent representation of women in any form. The Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013. The entire act is aimed at preventing sexual harassment of women. Section 2 and defines sexual harassment but does not specify any medium. Besides, Section 2(o) defines workplace to include a dwelling place or a house as well. Some suggestions to prevent yourself or to protect yourself from cyber victimization. You can keep important information such as your birth date, address, Aadhaar number, and financial information private. Also, do not store intimate photographs on your electronic devices with an internet connection and cloud storage. Be cautious about what you share and when you share about your whereabouts. Furthermore, do not click suspicious hyperlinks or files attachments. Additionally, cover the web camera unless absolutely necessary. Always keep a genuine antivirus installed and update your software regularly. Above all, be aware of online safety guidelines. The slide shows the e-resources used for this video. Thank you.